Hello, my name is Tamar. I am the servant of the ministry Tamar's Testimony, which you are viewing on YouTube or TikTok or any other platform. And if you now watch my prelude or any other dreams that I put out pertaining to the Nephlim, aliens, or vampires, then I would recommend that. I would strongly recommend the prelude first to get an understanding. But this particular video will deal with Nephlim and Nephlim-like men, and let's get right into it. This dream is titled Nephlim in South Africa, September 1st, 2024. I'm looking at this because I wrote down all the dreams I'll talk about. And it was transcribed. Originally, it was voice recorded on my phone. I have the date, I have the title. You can hear me saying it too. If that needed to be done, I'm more likely not going to do it. That's up to you, believe me or not. But I had to transcribe it, so yeah. So we're going to get right into it. Today is September 1st. I had a dream. I was in South Africa. That was what was placed on my heart. I was with one of my brothers. I have two older brothers, but I was with one of them. I was with my mom, my dad, and we were just seeing Nephlim. Like we were just seeing Nephlim. Like it was the sandy like roads in South Africa. So I was with my parents. I was with one of my brothers. Like it was normal South Africa. I saw a Nephilim, particularly one that was like my size, but his head was in the shape of fire and it was red. The best description I could give you is a game I used to play when I was in middle school. It was the girl that was like ice water, and it was a guy that was like red flame, and you would play it on the internet. And if I could find it, I'll put a picture. That's like the best description I could say. Have his head. It's about the same size as me, but his head was a shape of fire and it was red. Just like you might see a flame, that's how his head was. I know this can sound so crazy, but I saw it. And I cannot remember if he blew like at a house that it took the fire away, or when he blew at the house, it can cause a fire. Or maybe he could do both. He could cause a fire and he could take away the fire. Like he can absorb the fire or it can cause fire. I remember seeing that in others, but this one I can only distinctly remember. And I remember marveling because I was like, the South Africans were acting like this was normal. Like they were so welcoming, like they were entertained by these things. But they knew not to mess with them. They knew that there were like no boundaries or limitations with them and all that. It was just interesting for them to see them there. Like they were marveling at them. And then it went to a scene where like a fight struck out. And it's like me and my brother were like in the midst of the fight. And it's like Nephilim were involved too. And everybody was around us like scared, watching like, oh my gosh, do they know what they're getting themselves into? They were just very intrigued. And that's how it ended. I can't remember how it was going on. I know I was frustrated seeing these things. I wasn't excited like, oh, Nephilim, this Nephilim. I was frustrated because I'm like, why are y'all accepting these things? They're not supposed to be here. That was my stance. Probably why a fight struck out. But yes, there is Nephilim, and I believe they'll make their appearance, but in any type of country, any type of in the states, any of that type of stuff. But it was in my heart that was in South Africa, and that. And it's kind of interesting though when I had this dream, because I think this was before, because it's September 1st, 2024. This is before the Nephilimite man. He's a black man. I don't know if he's in South Africa, but it's in one of the places in Africa that he was, and everybody was just marveling at him. And he looked like us, but he was just really tall, and his head is just shaped differently.
Yo, mambo vipi? I'm with the tallest man in Kenya, Lugetu Bradley. Ni support gani?
And it's something about like what I see with foreign countries. They're so receiving of these things they shouldn't be receiving of, and that they it's like the how do I say the Nephilim creature, or let's say mermaids, or like sirens, all this stuff you might hear like in Haiti culture or anything like that. It happens outside of really the USA. It's like I really hear stories about it outside of the USA. Like they're really trying to protect the USA or desensitized us. Well, if you talk about things like this in South Africa or anything like this, saying half a body was a snake, half a body was a man, they'd be like, oh yeah, we believe you. But in the USA, we be looking at them crazy, like, what are you talking about? So I found this interesting, and I wouldn't put it past that this to actually happen in South Africa. But Nephilim will make their appearance, and it'll be like it's normal. You just let them be what they be. People gonna marvel at it. I can even picture people trying to make tickets attractions, like how I used to be in the circus nowadays, and there'll be like these very deformed beings that they'll try to make money off of, showing them in the circus, like that type of thing with the Nephilim. So that's the first dream. Nephlim in South Africa, September 1st, 2024. Nephlim like man, October 24th, 2024. And I mentioned this one a little bit briefly. I didn't really make a in-depth video like I'm doing now, but I mentioned it first in words on a post on TikTok, and then another in the video that I did, Every Man is Not a Man, Study of Nephilim, something like that. And there's a lot of things happening with this dream, but this is the one particular part I'm gonna focus on. I was with my dad as well, but he wasn't in my same area in the parking lot. It's dark in the parking lot of your average Walmart. I remember I was conversing with my dad, but I was hiding kind of behind this car when I saw this alien type of being. Like it had this gray head, this big gray head, like the gray head matching that alien creature off of American Dad. But he didn't have like the two arms, two legs. It's like it was just the head, neck, and it looked like he had just two arms, but it's really four legs. Like how you just look at him, it look like he got two arms, but if you turn to the side, you know he got two legs in the front, two legs in the back. That's how he was looking, and he was just on top of this white Jeep Wrangler, just moving around. And it's like I said, he had this fat head. It's like two arms, but it was not like two arms, and two on each side. As the thing is like moving, it's moving on this white Jeep. It's moving on this white Jeep Wrangler. It jumped off, and as it jumped off, look at my hand. As it jumped off, it slowly transitioned into this man holding a gray grocery bag. I know this sounds so interesting. It jumped off this white Jeep Wrangler and slowly transitioned into this man with a grocery bag. And I saw the guy and he looked familiar. I don't know if he saw me, but I was like, what? And I told my dad, and my dad said he remember seeing him and he just looked normal. And they're definitely here. They're definitely here. I was telling myself in the dream because I'm reading the transcription. They're definitely here. They're definitely here. That these beings, these demonic beings, are in the form of man, but they are not man. And I can describe you this man. How this gray demonic creature jumped off this thing and transitioned to your average HBCU junior basketball pro athlete. He had like dreadlocks, like those twists that look like dreads, but they're not dreads. Wearing like the regular, like, you know, like the Nike slides, Nike socks, the shorts, and like a regular t-shirt. And I remember when he transitioned, he turned his head to see if somebody saw him, and I was hiding behind another car. And I remember he had a girlfriend, like he went to go sat at the seats, the benches that sometimes that might be outside of Walmart, sat over there with her. And I was looking at her and I was like, I don't think she knows that he's not a he, like he's not man. And when I had that dream, was this October 24th, 2024? I knew like that, me being a single Hebrew woman, I was kind of, I'm gonna be honest, I was kind of frustrated. Well, not really frustrated. I was frustrated because that's another thing I gotta worry about if I decide to get married. Not only are you a believer, do you believe we're in the end times, do you believe there's other creatures, do you believe all this type of stuff, but are you even a man? That's why I made the video, Every Man is Not a Man. Every man is not a man. I go more into depth about this in that teaching video, trying to show you that it's possible. Every man is not a man. Just because he's fine and all this stuff doesn't mean he was born from the seed of Adam. Please hear me. Okay? That there's going to come a time where they are just welcome. Nephilim will be, no matter what they look like, they will be welcomed here on earth. And people are going to marvel at them. They're going to know not to mess with them, but they're going to marvel at them. Some people might try to even take advantage of it to make money off of them, like a circus. The other part with the Nephilim man, they look just like us. They look just like us. Because like I told you in the prelude, this is just a bodysuit. This is just a flesh. And they can masquerade. They can put themselves in the form of this. It is possible. Pray for discernment. Pray for discernment from the Holy Spirit to know if what you fellowshipping with or what you getting with is actually of man. So that's it for the dream for Nephilim. Okay.